As a public defender, Judge Karen fought for her client's rights. She was elected to the bench because she believes in doing the right thing.
I'm very passionate about helping people, period. But at what point are you gonna resolve the resentment? At some point, you need to be the one going through something.
Objective, independent justice.
You can always turn your life around. If you keep walking, you can overcome whatever circumstances you're facing.
This is Supreme Justice with Judge Karen. Kate Petrova is suing her ex-fiancé Levi Baines in the amount of $10,000. Ms. Petrova claims she wanted her wedding day to be special, but says Mr. Baines ditched her at the last minute and stuck her with the bills.
Ms. Petrova, you're suing Mr. Baines for $10,000 in a claim of breach of promise to marry?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so most states don't recognize that, but you guys are from Nevada.
Yes.
So that cause of action, a breach of promise to marry, is available to you. How long were you engaged, sir?
We were engaged for about a year.
About a year?
Mm-hmm.
And how long did you know each other before you became engaged?
2 years before that.
Okay, were you living together, ma'am?
No.
You were not living together?
No.
So how did the decision come up, let's get married?
We were dating for 2 years,
Right.
and I felt that I want more, and I want to become a wife, I want to become a mother, and we brought up this question, and he said he was not ready by that point, and I
Okay.
decided that there is no way I will spend my time, waste my time with a person who don't
didn't
want
want
to
to
be
get
married.
married. So is
And
that
so
true?
we broke up.
So she wanted to get married 2 years in and you didn't want to get married?
At the time, it was a complicated period because I was also transitioning from a full-time music career into a new career into accounting full-time.
Okay, well, had you guys been living together then?
We were not living together.
You were not
at that
living
point.
together. So you
No.
broke up, and then how long did you stay broken up?
I think about 2 months. Yeah, I think it was 2 months where we were broken up, and I wasn't dating anyone at the time.
Right. How'd y'all get back together?
Well, after a few months, you know, I mean, I'd heard she'd been dating actually some people that I knew, and it's just kind of, I could tell that was more of like a thing to kind of make me jealous and kind of miss her.
Well, did you miss her during the 2 months that you were
I
separated?
did, and I also believe that it was a better time for me to commit to a full-time relationship as well, because I had a career that was also now settled into its proper.
Okay, so you said, did you contact her and say, I've changed my mind, I'd like to get married now?
Yeah, so we
Is that true, ma'am? Is that what happened?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, and were you happy to hear that he was ready to
Of
get
course,
married?
I didn't want to break up with him. I loved him, and I wanted to create my life with him. But at the same time, I wanted to have something serious, and I broke up because he didn't want
Right.
it.
So
But-
now we're back on. We're going to start planning a wedding. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, so what was the agreement about the wedding? Was there an agreement we had about how big a wedding, how many people, where it's going to be? Did we have those agreements?
absolutely not. In fact, from the very outset, it was clear that we wanted two different ways to
What
celebrate.
kind of wedding did you want?
I wanted to have a courthouse wedding to save money. I didn't want to have a huge extravaganza with people that we weren't even that close with, because
Right.
I want to put that money into a home, into a condo for
Right.
the future betterment of our relationship.
And what did you
we
want?
were discussing all that before,
Right.
and we were discussing it with our friends as well, and they were suggesting that it's,
What did
it's
you
a
want?
life.
What did you want?
I just wanted something nice which I can remember,
Right.
and to show to our kids and grandkids
Right.
that, like a fairy tale, like every girl wants, and maybe not every, but
Right.
we want nice wedding, just
Right.
good
So you
pictures,
wanted a bigger
photos.
wedding.
Yes.
Did we work out an agreement somewhere between courthouse and this big girl's dream wedding? Did we work out an agreement?
He just said that he wants me to be happy,
Right.
and we were figuring the budget, we were
Right.
figuring
So
where
what
to
was
find
the
the
budget?
money.
What was the budget?
I wanted it to
end-
be $10,000.
So you
we-
thought $10,000.
We
And what did
ended
you
up
think?
at $15,000
Did we end
because
up at $15,000?
We ended up at $15,000, but she also got 2 new credit cards with a $5,000 bonus with 0% APR. She
Right.
said, I'll be able to figure it out. We'll be able to pay this off with no interest over the next
What's
year.
Okay, we're
no
not gonna,
interest
wait,
for-
stop. We're not going to talk about how we're going to pay for it. We're
Right.
saying we agreed that we were going to have a wedding with a $15,000
I
bonus.
did
Yes.
not agree to a
Budget.
$15,000.
he wanted to save some money. He was offering to make the fake flowers. Like from where I'm
Fake
from,
flowers?
we're using fake flowers for the funeral, not for the wedding.
Right.
And he didn't want to have a DJ, and he wanted to have a cash bar, like how can we tell to our guests, like, you are coming, but you have to pay for your own drinks?
Well, how many guests were you having?
Well,
We were supposed to have, like, we were called 75 guests, but there were 50 who was coming.
So you had 50 to 75 people.
I didn't agree to that number as well. I didn't want that
did you
number from the
agree to
outset.
anything about the cost of the wedding?
No, I didn't agree to the fact that we needed a $2,000
How much
photographer.
money did you agree to? I thought I heard you say you agreed to $15,000. What did you agree to?
So I wanted a $10,000.
Okay, but she wanted a $15,000.
And so she got these 2 credit cards without really consulting me. She just told me.
Are you saying to me that
I was consulting to you, like,
Miss Petrova,
I found this.
Miss
like,
Petrova?
Yeah.
I'm trying to understand what we agreed to, because you're here on a breach. Like there was some promise that was made and it was broken. I need to understand what was broken. Was there an agreement we're going to spend X amount on a wedding?
Yes.
Coming up on Supreme Justice.
So what happened here? What went wrong and when did it go wrong?
So
Mr. Baines, when did it go wrong? What happened?
were planning.
Mr. Baines.
Sorry.
Closed captioning provided by Supreme Justice is back with the case of Kate Petrova, who is suing Levi Baines for breach of promise to marry.
You continue planning toward this wedding, even though we weren't on the same page about how much we were going to spend.
Yeah.
And you spent at least how much money?
$5,000 of my own money.
You spent of your own money. That's the stuff you talking about him signing. Let me see what you spent it on. You got proof? Let me see what he spent it on. What did you spend it on? Tell me what it was.
Spent it on an engagement ring, outdoor wedding venue deposit.
Well, the engagement ring doesn't count.
Catering deposit.
Well, the
everything.
the engagement ring doesn't count in the cost of the wedding.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Maybe the wedding bands count.
Yeah, well, the wedding band as well, but outdoor wedding venue, I put a deposit in for that, catering.
How much was going to be the total for that outdoor wedding venue?
It was going to be $1,500. Well, for the deposit, and then the.
But what was going to be the total?
Additionally, I think it was another $2,000.
How much was the entire?
It was like 3.5 for the whole thing deposited together. Yeah, yeah.
No. You're going to have 50 to 75 people, right? Was everything included in the venue? The venue was
no. It was just venue.
Just a venue.
Everything else was separate.
So it's $3,000 for the venue, though, and he paid $1,500. Is what I'm hearing.
He paid just deposit.
Okay. What else did you pay? You.
Me. So yeah, the catering deposit, another $1,000.
So the catering deposit, you paid another $1,500.
And then I also another $1,000 for the catering deposit.
You paid $1,000 for catering, but what was the total bill going to be?
That was going to be, I believe, another $2,000 as well.
You can't feed 75 people with an open bar for $2,000 or $3,000. That ain't
it
what is
became
it, 50 cents a person? I mean, what's that going to be? How much was the catering? Somebody tell me it wasn't my wedding.
So
Wait, let me get out my calculator.
Yeah.
Let's say on average you spent $100 a person. At 50, that will put you around $5,000. So what were you spending?
So that's why I'm saying it was not.
Ma'am, you made plans. You had to have numbers. What was the cost?
The cost of. So he put the deposit for catering for the 1,000, and I was paying 2.3. So it was like 3.3 for all the people.
Did you spend any money? Did you spend any money?
I was paying with the credit cards.
Okay, what did you spend money on?
So for the credit cards, for these 2 credit cards, I was paying for videographer and photographer.
Let me see the receipts.
Yeah, here are all the receipts. I was paying for videographer, photographer, because it's the main part. It's what creates memory. You should record it. You should have it nice and good. And for efficient, for the DJ, just a regular DJ. I was not asking to have Beyonce at our wedding. I just wanted some person who will make a nice music.
You paid $528 for a gown. Yeah. $275 to alterations. Your pumps were $250, a rhinestone necklace $175, and some earrings $106. And what is this $2,262? The Rich Haven event? That's the caterer? No, that is again the venue. That's your $2,262. Then Smiling Moses Catering, $1,687. You paid that.
Yeah, on top of the what he paid as a deposit.
And then you also paid $1,687. to the caterer.
Yeah,
I don't see what the total bill was for the caterer. And it says you got a wedding package based on 100 guests. I don't understand how much that was. The milestone moments.
The total catering was like $3.3-ish thousand dollars.
$3,000 and something.
Yeah.
Okay, what would you serving? Hot dogs?
It was
you
still,
serving at this
it's
wedding?
what I'm saying. That's the point. It was not even that big, but
Right.
he, in the beginning, he was trying to save money on everything. He even
Right.
counted
I was trying to make
the ring.
compromises, is what I would call it. And anytime
I
I make
guess
a compromise,
this is a compromise. Again, it's not something super fancy. It's just a basic and nice. And the flowers, it's like, it's just nice to have a regular
Well, some
flower.
of these expenses, okay, I see what you're saying. The wedding cake and everything.
Yeah.
It came to almost $10,000, approximately $10,000.
Yes, and I was also lucky that our parents were not taking part. They were not able to help us
Right.
to pay for the whole
Right.
ceremony. But
So
my
did you-
parents gave me a present for previous Christmas, and they covered the price of the dress and my
Okay.
makeup and everything. So
Okay.
he even, like, we even
He
didn't
wasn't
need-
even paying for that.
Yes.
Okay. So well, what happened here? What went wrong and when did it go wrong?
So
Mr. Baines, when did it go wrong? What
We
happened?
were planning
Mr. Baines.
Sorry.
When did it go wrong?
Thank you, Your Honor. It was really a process, an amalgamation of a lot of things over several months. Anytime I would try to make compromises, hey, we don't need to spend $2,000 on a videographer.
Right.
Like, we can have other options. Like, let's look into that. She would never want to hear
Like, what
anything
was
like
another
that.
option to a videographer?
I mean, I have other friends who are in videography.
They could have done the job?
Yeah, for
Okay.
a quarter of the price.
Right,
And so
right.
this is things that need to work in a relationship.
Right.
Is communication.
It seems like you were fighting over all these expenses then.
Coming up,
What happened? The relationship was going downhill for a year?
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Did
were
y'all
good
do
time.
stuff other than talk about it? That's a $15,000 wedding. I mean, my God, 30 years ago my wedding was $15,000.
Exactly.
So it's not a whole lot of money to like consume you for a year.
closed captioning provided by Supreme Justice is back with the case of Kate Petrova, who is suing Levi Baines for breach of promise to marry.
What happened? The relationship was going downhill for a year?
I just felt like I was in this sort of limbo where I wanted to have it work because, yes, I did love her, and
Right.
I wanted that to
I mean, but how could a
have happen.
$15,000 wedding consume a whole year's worth of time? I mean, didn't y'all go out? Did you go out to the movies? Did you make love to
course.
each other? I mean, weren't
Yeah.
there things you go out to dinner?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
we
Did
were
a
y'all
great
do
time.
stuff other than talk about it? That's a $15,000 wedding. I mean, my God, 30 years ago my wedding was $15,000.
Exactly.
So it's not a whole lot of money to like consume you for a year.
Right, but where does it stop at 15? I mean,
We
because
just
she
wanted
did-
to make it nice.
It
We
ended up
wanted
being at
to make
No,
it
he didn't
our
want to make it that
anniversary.
nice. He didn't want it as nice as you wanted
I wanted a
it.
courthouse because
Yeah.
He wanted
maybe.
the courthouse. He wanted me to do it. You know, that's
This
what
is
he
a perfect
wanted. He wanted
venue.
to
I
go
would
to
love
the
to have it.
courthouse and let Judge Karen marry us.
But
This is
it
exactly
was
where I
like
wanted
when
to
he
have
was
that.
proposing, he knew what I'm expecting. He knew
Right.
that I have this whole dream,
Right.
But
and
you're on-
we broke up because of that.
Right.
And so when
let
he
me
was
ask you, Miss
coming, he knew what I
Petrova, Miss
expect.
Petrova, when did you realize that the wedding was off?
Right before the altar, like the day before the wedding, we had a dinner. He was a little bit more quiet.
The
but
rehearsal
There was
dinner?
rehearsal. He was
Okay.
there. Everything went nice. I thought it was nice, but
Right.
like I asked him, "What's wrong? Is everything all right?" He said, "I'm just tired. I'm saving energy for tomorrow."
Right.
And in the end, we just hugged each other. We kissed, and like it was all supposed to be nice. And I
Right.
had super nice morning with my friends.
The morning of the wedding?
Yes,
Okay.
and I was all shining. I prepared all the dress to
Right.
look like a princess,
Right, I
you know.
can imagine.
And I was expecting the best day of my life.
Right.
Coming up,
Time is passing and he's not there, and he usually right on time. And I started to freak out. I thought I was scared.
closed captioning provided by Supreme Justice is back with the case of Kate Petrova, who is suing Levi Baines for breach of promise to marry.
We were in the venue and everything was supposed to be there at 4.
Okay.
And time is passing and he's not there. And he usually right on time. And I started to freak out. I thought I was scared. I started to call him and it went
Right.
straight to voicemail.
Right.
And it's
You
like,
weren't
I thought
answering your
something
phone?
happened to him.
You weren't answering your phone the day of the wedding?
No, I couldn't. I couldn't put her
He just
through
disappeared.
That. Because I knew she would just, because she'd always be talking. The huge narrative of the relationship is I would not want to do something, and she would scream at me, she would yell at me, she would cry to get her way, and any sort of thing. And I just knew that she would use the same.
So you just didn't show up at the wedding?
I mean,
Why
I
you propose to me if you think this of me? Really?
It just came to a boiling point where, I mean, after the rehearsal dinner, I was out with some of the other groomsmen.
Right.
And they could just see it in my eyes, and like my soul has just been sucked from my body practically. And they just.
Well, I'm sure it sucked her soul from her body too that day for her to be there with her friends and family standing there.
Embarrassing.
I just couldn't.
And you don't show up at all.
I'm sorry, I just didn't want to put her through a marriage that was not happy.
Well, look what you did put her through, though. Look what you did put her through.
Yeah, like first I was so scared that something bad happened to him, if he's even alive.
Right.
You know, and
that would have even been better.
And maybe,
right?
you know,
at least something happened to him, right?
Yeah, exactly. And like 90 minutes later, my brother told me that he's not going to show up. I was like, sorry, what? Like, why you even propose in this case?
Right.
You knew this
so
this
what did
whole
you do
time.
Then? The wedding was off?
Like, I freaked out.
I was so
it was like over? Everything was already paid.
You didn't
like
do the
we
reception?
Yes, she
my,
did.
My friends and parents.
She had the reception. She still reaped the benefits of.
We already paid for everything.
Right.
It was too late to cancel anything. No one would give us back any money.
Stop a minute. You think she had fun at her reception that day?
I believe she did.
Judge Karen's verdict when Supreme Justice returns. Promotional consideration provided by.
Well, you know what? He probably did you a favor. You know? Imagine if you had married him.
Yeah.
I mean, if he could do this to you, leave you standing at the altar like that.
Exactly.
I'm ready to rule. So your state recognizes a breach of promise to marry. You promised to marry her, and you had plenty of opportunities alone. You made it seem like she had a gun at your head for a whole year, making you go through with something that you didn't want to do. You knew how much this stuff was going to end up costing, the caterer and all this stuff. You knew what it was going to cost, and she expended money. She went through with her promise, so it should be half and half. Because as far as she was concerned, I'm spending this money because I'm getting married. Well, she spent the money and didn't get married, which means that you're responsible for that. And it wasn't $10,000 in total, right? It was 9,000 some odd. It was 9,200. Yeah. I'm sorry, 9,926.59.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Judgment for the plaintiff in that amount of money. Good luck to you.
Judge Karen has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant is ordered to pay $9,926.59.
I came here for justice, and I got it. And thanks for the judge for supporting me.
I can't see how this can even be called justice. This is money that she was willing to spend.